Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another declutter video. Let me know if you are enjoying these videos or if you're getting sick of them, because I don't want to be too repetitive, because I know some people are a little bit sick of declutters, but I try to only upload them once a week. So if you do like them, I'll keep uploading them every Monday night. But if not, let me know and I can, take a break or just not film them. If you missed any of my previous declutters, I will link the playlist in the description box below. But today I'm going through and decluttering my lipsticks. I was going to film, or I will film liquid lipsticks and ColourPop lipsticks separately if you do still want to see these videos, because my lipstick collection is out of control, so we would literally be here all day if I put them into one video. But I can film them if you guys are still interested in declutter videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know, and let's jump into it. Okay, let me kick it off with the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks. This is one of my favorite lipstick formulas. It's probably one of my top 10 high-end lipstick formulas as well, just because I love that they're pigmented and creamy and they go on really well, and they have a bunch of different finishes. So they have comfort matte, cream, metallized, so no matter what you're looking for, you're going to be able to find something. So I'm going to swatch them in two sections and kind of break it down by what I'll declutter in two separate sections. So starting with the first section, I'm going to declutter the shade Naked, and I'm also going to declutter Scorched, and then keep the other three. Naked and Scorched are really pretty, but I don't find myself reaching for them super often, so I'm going to pass them along to somebody else. So moving on to the next section, I have some more red shades, some more deep, dark, vampy colors. So I'm going to go through them and swatch them and decide which ones to keep and which ones to declutter. The Mega Matte formula is definitely one of my favorites. If you like matte lipsticks, but you like a more traditional lipstick formula, check out the Urban Decay Mega Mattes and the Comfort Mattes, because they're really comfortable on the lips, but they also give you that really nice matte finish without feeling too dry or uncomfortable. So out of the six, let me show you guys what they look like swatched next to each other. So I am going to declutter the first shade, Heat. It's a pretty red, but it's a little bit too much of a cream formula for me. And then I'm going to keep some of the other red shades. So I think I will keep 714 because it is that ultra matte formula. And then I am going to keep Rocksteady and Disturbed as well, because they're a little bit more of that deep vampy red that I love. But I will declutter Spellbound and Menace on the bottom, just because I haven't worn them in a really long time and I don't, foresee myself wearing them too much in the future. Okay, moving on to the bareMinerals Gen Nude lipstick. So these are really nice. They have a bunch of different nude options available, and no matter what your skin tone, they're going to have something that will work well for you. As you guys will probably be able to tell, a lot of mine are very similar, so I definitely don't need to keep all of them. But if you're looking for a good traditional nude lipstick that's a little bit more lightweight and comfortable on the lips, I totally recommend checking these out. They're just great everyday lipsticks. I don't find them to be particularly long lasting or super pigmented, but again, they're just nice for everyday wear. You don't have to worry about having a mirror and applying them really precisely. They're just good on the go lipsticks. So let me swatch them next to each other and decide which ones to keep and which ones to declutter. Okay, so right off the bat, I think I'll keep Strip, Notorious, and Kitty, and then declutter the other shades. Those are the three that I wear the most often, and the other shades are kind of similar to those or similar to other shades that I own. The only one that I'm kind of on the fence about is XOX, but I think I'll declutter that one as well, just because it's kind of similar to Kitty. I really like the Milani lipsticks, but I've decluttered a lot of them over the years just because I don't find myself reaching for them as much. I really like Matte Naked and I like Black Cherry, but I tend to wear a liquid lipstick when I want a shade similar to Black Cherry. So I will keep Matte Naked and then declutter Black Cherry. Even though I enjoy the formula, I just don't wear it very often. Moving on to the Wet n Wild lipsticks. I really like these. I feel like they're even better than a lot of my high-end lipsticks. They just stay in place really well. They're ultra pigmented, so you really don't have to apply a ton of product, and the staying power for a traditional cream lipstick is really good. I feel like a lot of these, well, maybe not a lot of them, a few of them are on the older side, so just kind of taking a look at them separately, I do need to declutter a couple of them just because they are a little bit older. Red Velvet is definitely old. I remember wearing it years and years ago on my channel, and then Mauve Out of Here isn't necessarily old, but I don't wear that shade a whole lot, so I'm going to keep the two nude shades. They're kind of similar, but one was limited edition, and I do wear them both. They're a little bit different, probably not enough to justify keeping both of them, but I'm still gonna do it. And then I will keep Cherry Bomb and Sugar Plum Fairy because they're in my top 10 lipstick favorites. So I'll declutter 2 and then keep 4. So I have some NYX lipsticks. I only have one NYX Butter lipstick in the shade Pops, and then I have some of the NYX Matte lipsticks. Again, the NYX Matte lipsticks are so good. They're extremely lightweight and they do have a nice matte finish. So if you're looking for an amazing matte lipstick from the drugstore, totally check them out. I've repurchased them over and over in different shades just because I really enjoy the formula, and I like that you can can wear more dark dramatic colors and they stay in place pretty well without, having to worry about getting them on your teeth or smearing or smudging or whatever. So here's what they look like swatched next to each other. I think I'm actually going to keep the shade Shocking Pink. I don't wear pinks super often, but this pink is one of my favorite hot pinks of all time. It's just so smooth and beautiful on the lips. And then I'm also going to keep the shade Alabama because it's a little bit more of a unique red. I feel like the shades Pops and Whipped Caviar are kind of similar, so I don't need both of them. I think that I'll keep the shade Whipped Caviar because it's the matte finish, which I like a little bit better, and then I'll declutter the rest of them. Okay, and then I also have some like brighter red, some more deep dramatic colors as well. So a lot of them are kind of similar to each other. I feel like you have to be careful when you're buying online because if you're anything like me, you kind of end up with similar shades. So I do have a couple that need to be decluttered. I actually have 2 of the shade Siren, so I'm just going to declutter one of those right away before I even swatch them. And then I have some more dark dramatic colors, which I do enjoy. I like this formula a lot if I'm wearing more of a bold lip, just because I feel like it stays in place a little bit better than like a cream lipstick. So here's what they look like swatched next to each other. I think I'm only going to keep Perfect Red. It's kind of similar to Eden and I don't need both of them, so I'll keep Perfect Red. And then Siren and Dark Era and Gold Digger really are kind of similar. I think I'll keep the shade Siren, and then, which is like the top right, and then I think I'll declutter the rest of them. And then moving on to the e.l.f. moisturizing lipsticks. These are really, really nice. They're probably my favorite e.l.f. lipstick formula. But again, I don't find myself wearing all of the colors, so I need to get rid of a couple of them. I'll swatch them and then decide which ones to keep and which ones to declutter. But if you're looking for a good e.l.f. formula, these are really, really nice. I have to say I also enjoy the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Satin lipsticks. I only have 2 shades, but these are a little bit more subtle on the lips. They're really, really comfortable, and they just look a little bit more natural. So if you're a fan of like natural looking lipsticks, check those out. And they also have the Beauty Shield lipsticks, which are pretty new, but they're very pigmented. So if you're looking for bright, bold, pigmented colors, then check those ones out. So here's what they look like swatched next to each other. I know that I'm going to keep the shade Brick because it's kind of a unique red. I don't really have a lot of similar shades to that. And then I think I'll also keep the shade Touch of Nude on the bottom left. This one is a really beautiful, like subtle nude, and I do find myself reaching for that one fairly often. And even though I haven't worn it a ton, I do love Rose Shield. It's such a unique color compared to a lot of other colors in my collection. So I'll keep 3 and then declutter the rest of them because I have similar shades to all of those. I am going to declutter the Aqua Beauty Radiant Gel Lip Stain. I just don't wear it very often, so it's time to let that one go. Moving on to the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipsticks. I love these so much. They are just one of the best lipstick formulas ever. They're very, very creamy, very comfortable, so rich and pigmented, and I honestly would spend my money on more of them, but they have to be like nude shades that I wear super often because I don't wear a lot of these super often. I do enjoy them, but the one that I wear the most is the shade Pepper, and it's more of like a wearable color for me. I think I'll declutter the top 2. They are like the mini versions, but honestly, I never reach for those 2. I do reach for the bottom 3 fairly often, but the top 2 have just kind of gone neglected in my collection. So because I haven't really worn them, I'm just going to give them to somebody else who might be able to try them out and enjoy them. So I have a bunch of random brands that I just decided to swatch next to each other. So I have one from Tarte. I have a couple from Essence Cosmetics. One is their Matte Lipstick, and then the other one is their long-lasting lipstick, which was actually discontinued, but I do enjoy this color. I have one from Catrice, which is their Ultimate Color Lipstick, and then I also have one from ColourPop. I thought I had more of these, but I only found one in my collection. So this is their Blotted Lip, and then I also have the Buxom Big and Sexy Bold Gel Lipstick, and also the Buxom Lip Foundation, which was also discontinued. So I just thought I would swatch them all together and show you guys what they look like. I'm going to keep the shade Set Sail, which is the Tarte lipstick, because I haven't really worn it yet and I want to try it out. And then I'm also going to keep Barely There. Even though it was discontinued, I really enjoy that color and that formula. And then I think I'll keep the shade In a Rose Garden as well from Catrice. But I'm going to declutter the Essence lipstick in 01 just because that color is not super flattering on me. And then I think I'll keep the Buxom Lip Foundation and declutter the other 2 on the bottom row. I have a bunch of the Milk Makeup lip colors, which I really like. I think they might be a little bit overpriced. $22 is kind of expensive. I mean, they're kind of similar to a lot of other lipstick formulas in my collection, so I don't feel like there's anything about about the actual formula that really sets it apart. I just feel like they have some really nice colors. These are kind of like, I would say they're kind of like the Wet n Wild lipsticks. That's like the first formula that kind of pops into my mind, but they're more of like a matte finish, well, depending on which shade you get. So I do enjoy them. I don't feel like they're anything super, super unique for $22, but I do feel like there are a lot of pretty colors. So if you see a color that you would enjoy, I would say they're worth checking out. They're comfortable on the lips. I feel like they stay in place pretty well. But okay, so let me swatch them next to each other and decide which ones to keep and which ones I don't really wear. So here's what they look like swatched next to each other. I think I'll keep the majority of these just because I do find myself reaching for them pretty often. I don't know if I'd buy them all over again, but because I have them in my collection, I am going to keep the majority of them. I would say my favorites are probably Girl, which is like on the bottom right, and then also New Whip. Those are two like more unique shades that you might want to check out. I think I'm going to declutter like the bottom three in the left-hand corners. So OG Red, Wavy, and then also Extra because I don't wear those shades super often, and then I'll keep the rest. I'm going to declutter both of the e.l.f. lip lock pencils. I just don't really wear them. I don't even know if they're any good, to be honest, because I can't remember the last time I actually wore them. And then I have some of the e.l.f. matte lip colors. I do like these, but again, I don't find myself reaching for them super often. To be honest, a bunch of them are so old. You can probably see which ones are old as I do the close-ups and which ones are more new. So I definitely need to get rid of the old shades, and then I'll probably hang on to some of the more new shades that I actually enjoy. So out of the first four, I think I'll keep Praline, which is the first one. I really like that nude. I think it's so pretty. And then I'll also keep Natural, which is all the way on the right. I definitely wear those two, but Nearly Nude and Coral are so old. They have to go. I feel like they're definitely expired by now. Okay, so moving on to some pink and red shades. I don't wear pinks super often. You guys, I don't know what I have against pink lip colors. I keep a couple in my collection in case I kind of get back into them, but I really haven't been loving pinks lately. I do love red though. I need to break out my red lipsticks even more because I really do enjoy them. So out of these next four, I think I'm actually just going to declutter all four of them. The only one that's kind of tempting me is the third, like bright red, but I feel like I have other reds that I hung on to, so I don't feel like I need any of these. I never wear them, so it's time to get rid of them. And then moving on to some more berry shades. I don't know, I just don't wear them very often. Again, some of these are old, a couple of them are more on like the new side, but I don't find myself reaching for them super often. I actually have two in the shade Mulberry Maven, so I'm going to declutter one of those before I even swatch them. I think the e.l.f. matte lip color formula is nice, but it's not my absolute favorite matte lip color formula. I prefer other drugstore options like NYX and Wet n Wild, so I'm actually going to declutter all four of these as well, just because I don't love the shades. The formula is not my absolute favorite. It's okay. I just don't find myself reaching for it super often. So I'm going to declutter all four of those. And then I have like this e.l.f. duo, which comes with a brighter pink and then more of like a nude pink. I really enjoy this formula. I don't wear like the fuchsia pink as often. Really, I don't wear it at all, to be honest, but I do like the lighter shade enough that I will hang on to this one. Okay, so let's finish up with the Smashbox Be Legendary lipsticks. I have so many of these, as you guys can tell. They sent me either like their entire collection or the majority of the collection at one point, and I love these lipsticks. Wait until you see the swatches. They are so pretty, but I don't wear all of them, so I'm going to keep the ones that I do wear and then donate or pass along the ones that I don't wear because they're pretty much brand new and I want to make sure somebody can get use out of them before they expire. So I'll just share some close-ups with you guys and then swatch them and decide which ones to keep and which ones to declutter. As you guys know, pinks are not my favorite. I want to get into pinks, but I just feel like every time I wear one, I just don't like how it looks on me. Do you guys love pinks? You'll have to let me know if you have any favorites, which ones you really enjoy. But for now, I'm just not super into pinks, so I'm going to declutter the majority of them from my collection and just give them to somebody who does love pinks and can enjoy them more than I do because these lipsticks are so beautiful. They're one of the best formulas out there. So I think the only two that I'm going to keep out of all of these are the shades, okay, I want to keep a bunch of them because they're so pretty, but realistically, I don't wear them. So I think I'll keep Jam On It and then also the shade Punch Drunk. I feel like those two pinks are really pretty, and out of all of the pinks, those are the two that I would wear. So I'll declutter the rest and keep those two. Okay, moving on to the second section. So these are all like nudes, light nudes, dark nudes, terracottas, more like brown shades, definitely more colors that I wear on an everyday basis. And I definitely want to get more use out of these because I just love the formula. I love the colors. I've kind of been more into like cream lipsticks instead of liquid lipsticks and things like that. So I'll probably end up keeping keeping more of these versus like all of the pinks that I just decluttered, because I really do see myself reaching for them more often. That being said, I don't need all of them. A lot of them are very, very similar. So let me swatch them and then kind of narrow them down after I swatch them. So this is what they look like swatched next to each other. I think I'll keep Okay, I'm going to keep the top row. I really like all of those. I find myself reaching for them. I have worn a bunch of those. And then on the bottom, I'll declutter My Digits, Stylist, and then also Black Cherry. I just don't wear those shades. I don't think I'll get a lot of use out of them. I kind of have colors that are similar. And then I'll also keep Booked. So I'll keep 5 and declutter 3. Moving on to the third section, these are more traditional nudes, like I guess like more like yellow or brown tone nudes. I just showed a bunch of like rosy nudes and terracottas. So I'm going to keep probably a bunch of these as well, maybe about half of them, I don't know. I do keep them in the box because they're easier to see what they look like. The actual tube is just like a black lipstick tube, so I feel like they can kind of get lost in my collection, so I do keep these ones in the box, also because I really haven't worn a lot of them yet, so a lot of them are pretty much brand new. So let me swatch these ones and show you which ones I'll keep and which ones I will declutter. Okay, here's what they look like. I already know that I'm going to declutter the first shade, Ticket Me. It's way too light for me. I never end up wearing it, so I think I'll keep Latte because that one is a little bit more, it's better for my skin tone. I'll declutter Honey. It's like weirdly sheer, but not in a good way. And then I'll declutter all of them on the bottom except for the shade Dirty. Dirty is a really pretty nude. I actually don't have anything like that, so I'll keep Dirty and then declutter the other 3 as well. Okay, and then finishing up with the last section. These are more like dark, dramatic colors, and then also a bunch of like orangey and red tone shades. So the first 2 are more unique, and then the rest of them are kind of like orange and red toned. And I do like a good orange lipstick lately, which is so weird because I went through a phase where I hated orange lipsticks. So I'm kind of wondering if the same thing is going to happen with red lipsticks, but I don't wear orange lipsticks enough to keep all of these like orangey reds in my collection. I feel like 1 or 2 will definitely be enough for me. Maybe like 3 or 4. I don't know. We'll see once I actually swatch them next to each other. It's hard to tell because the box is helpful, but only a little bit because sometimes they swatch differently than they actually look on the box. So I think I will declutter Deep and Fair Play. I really like those colors. They're so unique, but I just won't wear them. And then as for the rest, I think I'll keep those 2 like brighter shades on the bottom left. The ones on the right are all kind of similar though. I think I'll keep Bing and Fireball, which are on the top right. They're more of like a matte finish, and then I'll declutter Headliner and Mandarin on the bottom right because those are more of like a cream finish and they're kind of similar to the other 2. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. I cleared out about half of my collection, which is awesome. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like I still have more than enough, but these are all of the ones that I decided to declutter and get rid of. I'm going to be passing them along to other people, and if they're old or expired, I will throw them away. So that was my first lipstick declutter video. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know and I'll film ColourPop lipsticks and liquid lipsticks as well. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.